Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Matt. Thank you so much for watching. Today is a huge, big update for the channel, or big announcement for the channel. As you can see in the thumbnail, I got another car. I've been sitting on this car for about 7 months now, trying to decide what to do with it while we've been out of state. It just went into storage, and I'll explain kind of a backstory to how I got the car in a second. But I really just want to get straight away to showing you guys the car. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a big thing for the channel, something I've been really wanting to do for a while. So without further ado, here it is. I bought another Subaru. This here is a 2014 Subaru BRZ. It's obviously painted flat gray. You can kind of tell it's not the best paint job in the world, but it does the job. This car, there's a lot about it that I want to tell you about here, but first let me get it started, pull it out in the light so you guys can see a little bit more of kind of what we're dealing with. Here she is in all her glory. This, like I said, is a 2014 Subaru BRZ. Just doing a quick walk around here. Sorry about the wind noise. The tint is very dark. But as you can probably tell, it does have quite a few modifications. This is a big thing for the channel. I don't even know how to really set that in better, or how to describe that better, but this thing is going to be a drift car. I've finally decided that. When I originally bought it, I had this idea that I wanted to make it more of a track car. It already is kind of set up for the track, and I'll go over more specifically all of the modifications in another video. It has some issues, but for the most part, it's a pretty well sorted track car. The previous owner, he rebuilt the thing. It has a salvage title. It was originally like a Copart car. He rebuilt it himself. It had front end damage, so he replaced it with an updated front end, painted the whole car himself. It looks pretty good it's like a 20-footer, 10, 20-footer, something like that. But for me, it's always been back and forth about whether this was going to be a drift car or whether this was going to be a track car. I kind of liked the idea for a while of doing time attack with grid life, but I think recently, especially after doing my first ever drift event, I've kind of decided that I with my budget, I can't really afford to do time attack as competitively as I would like. But what I can do is I can drift. I think seat time wise and consumable wise, a car like this, a lightweight rear drive car, is going to be a lot cheaper to drift than it will be to do competitive time attack. So that's kind of what I've decided to do. Drifting is something that I only just recently realized I loved. Did my first drift event, as you guys saw. The Miata was really actually a good car for it. It did well. The only issue is I like that car too much to subject it to constant drifting. Drifting is really hard on things, and I'd prefer to have a car that I had a little less mechanical sympathy for. So this car kind of fits the bill. Like I said, perfect track car. It is salvage title. It has $20,000 worth of aftermarket parts underneath the hood though, and everywhere else, suspension, wheels, tires, all that. I won't go into the full build list right now. We're gonna do a little walk around to show you a few more angles of the car, maybe get some B-roll, show you guys what's going on. But just as a summary, the car should have around 260 to 280 wheel horsepower. It has aftermarket forced induction. It's not a turbo. We have a Jackson Racing supercharger kit, but it does need tuning right now. And so I'm kind of trying to figure out who I want to have tune it and when I'm going to have it tuned. Likely going to be Graham at Boosted Performance, but frankly, there's still a little part of me that has some other ideas for the car that maybe don't involve forced induction. So I really haven't gotten there yet. I need to do a few other things with the car first to kind of just figure everything out. What I will talk about, even though I'm not going to go through the full build list right now, that's going to be a sit down. I'm going to have a list and just talk through everything about the car. But I will go through a few things that it needs right now, some issues with the car. It doesn't have a lot of major issues, just a few that I'll point out right now. and then we'll wrap up this video. It's just gonna be a short, quick update on the channel and on the fact that I finally have a dedicated drift car. First and foremost, the most important thing that the car needs right now from a safety standpoint is wheel studs. Now, it's got an AP Racing big brake kit. Obviously, as you can see, I can't like keep that a secret. But that kit came with a 5mm spacer. I believe it's 5mm. You can see it right there. And it also, because of the offset of the wheels and just them not being factory, you can see there's not a lot of threads on those lug nuts. Subarus in general have a habit of kind of breaking wheel studs as it is. Plus, this just isn't safe for track long term. It was something the previous owner was getting to, but they need done. And I have a set of, as I went over in the previous video, I have a set of new extended wheel studs that are going to be a lot stronger to go on this car. Coming into the interior, this will give away some of what I was talking about with the modifications, but we've got some aftermarket gauges up here. Only one of them works. My oil gauge is the one that works, or not oil gauge, my oil temp gauge is the one that works. But my AFR and boost gauge do not right now. Same with the factory climate control. None of that turns on at all. I'm not gonna show you because I just don't feel like getting in the car and turning it on. But I think there's a fuse blown in there. To summarize, it needs wheel studs first and foremost for safety, I think, just so I feel comfortable even driving the car hard. And then it really needs some electrical work. I don't know why some of the gauges aren't working. I don't know if maybe they just need finishing wiring them or what's up, but I'm gonna have to sort that out. And then same with the climate control knobs. I'm guessing it's probably just a blown fuse somewhere for the climate control. I don't know for sure. It's got a lot of aftermarket stuff done in the interior, like some electrical work done that's been used. I'll explain that in another video too. It's just, there's gonna be a lot of info in a following video here about everything done to the car. But so it needs that, and it needs tuned. It's not actually pro-tuned for the supercharger. It just has an off-the-shelf base map, and I don't really trust it for long term. Those are kind of the four most pressing matters, but first and foremost, like I said, wheel studs. I have the wheel studs, I have the tools to do it, and I do have the time, so I'm just gonna get going with that. You'll see that in an upcoming video as well. This car, what this represents to me is officially having a car for drifting and for any other sort of hooning. I could track it. I'm probably not going to have it aligned for grip though. Right now it's running pretty good negative camber front and rear and all that, but I'm going to go with more of a drift spec alignment. So this is going to be a seat time car for me. It's going to be low-ish horsepower. Still haven't decided if I'm keeping the supercharger or not yet. We're going to have to kind of feel it out. That might sound crazy for people who are used to wanting more power for drifting and who are used to like going big and like, you know, wanting to throw as big angle as possible and all that stuff. But to me personally, with my goals in drifting, I really just want to get a car that I can drift consistently and frequently for low amount of money. Like, consumables matter the most to me. This car can drift even with stock-ish power, like bolt-ons and a tune power in E85 maybe. I know this car would be fine drifting with that power level. And so I'm just kind of having the thought of, do I keep the supercharger or do I sell it, save the money from the supercharger and put that towards angle and a rear diff or something. But like I said, this is all stuff that I'll go over in a different video. I still haven't decided yet anyway what I'm going to do. I've had a lot of people go, you know, for either direction. More people have said they think I should keep the supercharger. I don't know yet. I just haven't decided, but it has it. It's pretty cool. Honestly, the car pulls good. Even right now, I've done a few pulls up to like 6,000 RPM. It's faster than any BRZ has any right to be normally. Like, I mean, it's far and away faster than stock. So it'd be nice to keep it. We will see. Time will tell. I just have a lot going on right now and a lot of things to process with the car. But I hope you guys are excited about this project. Like I said, it is a cool car. You can really like, I love the gray actually. It turned out like so well. It's got those hood vents and those aftermarket wheels, and it's all, the tint's a little much for me, frankly, because you can't see barely anything out of the car, but it just looks mean and it looks like it'll be a really good track car. I think it's going to be a fun project for the channel, and I think it is kind of symbolic of an era in this channel where I want to try to build. I want to try to progress more, maybe see if I can get more viewers, more subs, that sort of thing, get the channel to make a little money to supplement my hobby and show you guys some cool content. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys are stoked for some BRZ content. Apparently now I'm a Subaru guy. I've got 2 Subarus, and for the past I've always been more of a Mazda dude, but I'm okay with it. I like Subarus, I like BRZs, and I'm ready to go. So peace out and stay shifty.